84, the nays 88, therefore the ayes have it. Order, members, I order that the bar be drawn and the doors be opened. Yeah? So I call what? No, just say we proceed. Order, members, we continue with the committee of the whole house.
Clauses 29, 30, 31, and 32.
I propose that the following clauses 29, 30, 31, and 32 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 29, 30, 31, and 32 be part of the bill. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? Aye. The ayes have it.
Clause 33.
I propose the question that clause 33 be part of the bill. Mover.
How about
the Chair of Finance Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. This clause 33, 33A is a cleanup. The proposed amendment is a cleanup of the tariff code. And then on 2, we are extending exemption status to taxable supplies that are used for construction of tourism facilities. And then part 3, again, last year we did an investment deduction for construction of hospital beds of 50. Now the bill was proposing to increase again from 50 to 100. No, from 100 back to 50. We're retaining it at 50. We are taking exempt the construction of plastic recycling plants. We are taking that. We are restoring the construction of plastic manufacturing plant into exemption status. And part 7, the most important, Honorable Speaker, is we are taking back items from Schedule 1 to Schedule 2, those items that were tax exempt to zero rated, and those include manufacturing of fertilizer, manufacturing of pharmaceuticals, manufacturing of human vaccines, and that's why you will see now deletion of 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 150, and for all these deletions are taking back these particular items from tax exempt back to zero rate, so that we can have cost of manufacturing fertilizer reduced, cost of manufacturing pharmaceuticals reduced, manufacturing of human vaccines, manufacturing of medicine, all back to zero rated. With that, I move on, Honorable Chair.
Order, members. Member Honorable Mbadi. No, wait. I will propose the question that clause 33 be amended as proposed by the Chair Finance Committee. Yes, Honorable Badi.
Thank you. Madam Chair, this amendment makes me very excited. I'm excited because I'm happy that the committee actually listened to me and listened to Azimio on this. Madam Speaker, Madam Chair, we were being told that a lot of commodities are being exempted, but they were being removed from zero rating to exempt. I am happy that now pharmaceutical raw materials for pharmaceuticals will now be zero rated, that is 147, pest control for 148, raw materials for pest control 148, pest control products 149, sugarcane transportation from farms to milling factories 150, fertilizers 151, raw materials for manufacture of fertilizer 152, liquefied petroleum gas 153, all tea sold for value addition. Now it will not just be tea, but it will be tea and coffee. I'm very excited that these amendments have been carried by the committee, and I support fully that now when we go to 34, we are going to zero rate them. I want to thank the committee for listening, particularly to me. When I was explaining zero rating and exempt, many of you listened and understood what I actually meant. This is going to make life the way it is if this is implemented. How I wish the same happened to the petroleum.
Members, we will keep this at 2 minutes maximum. I know there are other members that have amendments. Unless you're rising to withdraw your amendment, you will have your chance after we deal with the amendment by the chair. Member Honorable Amisi, Honorable Naisula, Honorable Basil, Honorable Atandi, Honorable Oluoch, Honorable Mbui, all of you will be heard at the point of your amendment. But for this one, we first deal and exhaust the amendment by the chair, Finance Committee. So I would hope that the people who have shown interest are interested in speaking to the amendment by the chair. So I will give member for Dagoretti. Are you speaking to this? No. Member for Madare, what is out of order?
Madam Chair, there was a precedent set yesterday by your chair, co-chair, that where there are other amendments, that you would allow the members who have proposed the amendments to ventilate theirs first, and then later we allow the chair to ventilate theirs, so that if these ones collapse, as they might or might not, then the chairs of the finance then comes last. And I can see the chair of finance is agreeing with me. Because, Madam Chair, once we carry these amendments, there might be no need to listen to the other members. So please guide us.
Other members, we will continue as we have stated, because even under the clause that we have voted, ordinarily there will be no debate. But we opened it and let members ventilate even when the amendments were not on the order paper. So on this one, we will continue with the amendment by the Finance Committee Chair. Some of the amendments thereof will be affected depending on how this goes, but we will give priority to this one as listed in the order paper. So I will give it to Honorable Member for Dagoretti North.
Thank you very much, Chair, and I also want to thank the committee and to thank the Chair. I know most of our people who looked at exempt versus zero-rated, especially those who are running industries, were very, very worried. And today, on behalf of the women who have industries, I want to say thank you to the Chair. But also, Chair, even as we say that, we also need to look at, I don't want to talk about the issue of fuel. I think we have exhausted that. But I want us to look now at the excise duties and how we deal. And I keep on reminding Chair, Finance, we must deal with customs so that even as we deal with all these things, customs will help us also to see the betterment of what we are doing in this house, and our citizens will benefit from this. Thank you, Chair.
Member for Tinderet.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to thank the the mover or the chair of Budget and Finance, especially on the issue of transporting of agricultural produce like sugar, tea, coffee, and all this. This amendment actually will promote the farming, the activities of farmers across the country, and it will actually make farming to be, the profits will be higher, and therefore the business will go on well. I support, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Atandi.
Chair, I also would like to support the amendments by the Chair of Finance Committee, especially those ones that are deleting VAT on corn products and basically cassava and foodstuffs. This is something that is very, very important for us, and our people are going to afford basic commodities. And I thank the Chair. Thank you.
Leader of Majority. Okay.
Thank you, sorry, Honorable Speaker. We were consulting with members here. Honorable Speaker, let me support this amendment. And it's true what the Honorable John Buddy says, that the Committee of Finance, even as we were thanking them during the second reading, took a lot of time to listen to Kenyans. And some of these proposals are what came out of the public participation exercise, Honorable Speaker. And it's sad that many of our media houses were trying to incite, not many, it's actually one media station I saw, trying to incite Kenyans that the public participation exercise was an exercise in futility. But it's testament from what members are saying here that the Finance Committee did listen to Kenyans and to their views, Honorable Speaker, and therefore I support, and this also buttresses the point that we are indeed intent on bringing down the cost of living. Zero rating farm inputs, zero rating fertilizer products, zero rating transportation of sugarcane from farms to their factories, Honorable Speaker. These are things that we trickle down to the farmer and consequently ensure that we are able to produce farm produce at a cheaper cost, and therefore the Kenyan people will enjoy, in the long run, will enjoy a lower cost of living. And that is what the people of Kenya have been asking for. And Honorable Chair, I must say, as I said before, that this was one of the bills that was most vilified. But I'm glad today in this debate, Honorable Speaker, members are truly telling the truth. What is good, they are calling it good. What they have a problem with, they are saying, I have a problem with this. And that is the way we should be engaging in the country, not vilifying and demonizing everything.
Let us cap this to a maximum of 2 minutes. Honorable Masara, as we...
Thank you, Madam Chair. I want, for the first time, appreciate what the Chair of Finance, my friend, who we were with in PAC committee for 5 years. Madam Chair, what they have done, they have appreciated the work of public participation. How I wish they could do this throughout in all the clauses, because the people are really crying. If you can hear their views and accommodate them in a clause and make the changes, it won't change your status in the society, but you'll be appreciated now and forever.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker, on the issue of transportation of sugarcane, I come from where the sugarcane growing is a major area where it helps so many people. Were it not for the changes, it will have really affected farmers who are growing sugar. So thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
And I hope the remaining clauses, we are going to get similar response. Thank you.
I see there is concurrence on this clause. I'll give Honorable Geshimo, then the Chair Finance. We will close it.
Thank you, Chair. I'm equally excited, just like Honorable Buddy, because people of Geshogo who do a lot of coffee and tea will be saving a lot in terms of operational cost. So I support Chair, and I believe, I agree with the Leader of Majority that actually this committee did public participation. And that is why even Honorable Buddy's views found their way into this bill. I support, Chair.
Member, Chair, Finance Committee.
And I really welcome the good remarks by my colleagues. And I just wanted to inform this House that there were two fundamental changes that we made on this particular clause, and important that I realized I did not mention when I was moving, that introducing to exemption taxable food supplies for school feeding program be moved to exempt supplies. So this, we saw, I think it's Governor for Nairobi yesterday launching a very successful food feeding program. You've seen this school feeding program being done by the Honorable KJ at Dagoretti South constituency, and want to encourage, therefore, any business in this country that can invest in their CSR in our school feeding program. We have, by listening to members of the public, we have introduced a new clause that makes those food supplies exempt for the tax exempt. Lastly, we found a very interesting clause that was exempting transfer of businesses as a going concern from VAT. And the financial implication of this was 100 billion shillings we are losing. So by actually deleting that clause 7, making transfer of business as a going concern a vertable service, we are going to raise, through this particular amendment, 100 billion shillings. And that, I think, is one of the greatest successes we had because of our public participation with members of the public.
Member for Nyando, what is so burning?
Madam Speaker, out of presentations by Azimio One Kenya Coalition, appeals and lamentations that we expressed on behalf of the Kenyan people, the committee has ceded some ground. But again, certain times it becomes very difficult for us to know what is exempt and what is zero-rated, Honorable Speaker. Why we are pursuing the zero-rated angle is because somebody has the right to claim for vertable taxes on raw materials, Honorable Speaker. But when it is only exempt, then you can only claim VAT simply on the final product itself, Madam Speaker. So therefore, if it is exempt, at the end of the day, production costs become much higher, costs which are then transferred to the Kenyan people or the end user to shoulder, Madam Speaker. So that is why we have been pursuing this angle vigorously on behalf of the Kenyan people. Madam Speaker, was very disturbed when we were going to apply taxes on pharmaceuticals and medicaments, Honorable Speaker. There are people with conditions who use insulin, for example, on a daily basis, and making and putting more taxes on insulin was going to be unbearable on those who consume this product, and then, by the end of the day, shortening their lifespan on this earth, Madam Speaker. And therefore, I support this amendment, and I hope that we can reach consensus on most of these divisive clauses, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. I will now put the question that clause 33 be amended as proposed by the Finance Committee Chair. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I will now call Honorable Amisi. This is dropped when the mover is not in the House. That amendment is dropped. Member, the amendment by Honorable Naisula will fall because the committee's amendment has been carried. The amendment by Honorable Basil is in the House. Move your amendment.
Chair, I stand to move the amendment on clause 33A to be amended by deleting subparagraph 14. The country is struggling to raise taxes, particularly on high assets. So we need to reintroduce taxations on high assets like choppers, aeroplanes of high value, so that we raise more revenue for the government as opposed to taxing already overtaxed Kenyans. Thank you.
So as moved by Basile. Order, members. I will now propose the question that clause 33 be amended as proposed by Honorable Basil. Other members, I will give you. We still maintain 2 minutes maximum. I will start with Honorable Naisula. Then I will go to Honorable Naisula. Honorable Atandi, take your seat.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'm rising to ask for your indulgence that later, if there's a member of parliament who has an amendment and it's similar to what the finance committee has, and it will be dropped, probably you give that member, because they took time to work on that amendment, to say something about it. And I know that we have passed it, but I just wanted to thank the Chair of Finance for the exemption on materials for tourism. Some of us come from counties that rely, zero rating, because we rely on tourism. We're just from COVID. Many counties and the country is trying to revamp its tourism, and we know that it is one of our, it earns us foreign exchange, and I really thank you for that. And I just wanted to comment on what the majority leader said, that there was a lot of misinformation. I think also it is the people from your side who were going to the same media houses and could not explain what is zero rating, what is exempt. So of course then the media and Kenyans take what is there. So I think in future it is important to get expertise, and sometimes you can borrow from us, like Mbadi. He can explain very well on those issues, and Kenyans will be convinced. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Member for Samburu West. Member for Kiharu, Chair Budget.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. And I rise to vehemently oppose the amendment by Honorable Basil. Honorable Speaker, when, many times when we read about helicopters and aircraft, we think we are dealing with the Bajois or the people who have them, or the owners. But unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Chair, the reason actually for whatever was proposed by the committee is because currently Wilson Airport is one of the busiest hubs in terms of the airports in Africa. And Honorable Chair, aircrafts are not licensed basically for the domiciled country because they move from this country to the other. Now, what we have done in the past is that we have been able to shift all the jobs of servicing aircrafts and helicopters to other regions, Honorable Speaker, and especially our neighbors, to protect quality jobs of servicing helicopters and aircraft. Honorable Chair, I vehemently oppose that amendment.
Minority Leader.
Madam Chair, I want to support the proposed amendment by the Honorable Basil. And for the simple reason that really, we can't continue to be this insensitive. How come we are so quick to come in to offload the burden on those who have, as opposed to removing the burden on those who don't have? I know for sure, Madam Chair, that as we speak, people are competing in this house, and especially that side of the house. People are competing as to who will become the first dollar millionaire in this time of parliament. And a number of our colleagues here have actually ordered helicopters and other forms of aircraft. Madam Chair, this is a very serious matter. As you know, Madam Chair, I'm one of the few people who are privileged to have a lot of information. Madam Chair, I have got privileged information that a number of our colleagues here have actually placed orders for these choppers.
Thank you. Thank you, Minority Leader. Your time is up. Your time is up. Honorable Rahim.
Chair, I oppose this amendment. Chair, there is misinformation in this house because whatever is being waived is not for the rich people. It is for simulators, training purposes, and Madam Speaker, this thing is spare parts where our people will get jobs, and it's nothing to do with the rich who own helicopters. So let us not lie to the country and to the people, and let's be frank about what is being said. So I oppose.
Finally, Honorable Tiende.
Madam Chair, very briefly, I support this amendment.
It is not true that what's being waived is for training and such purposes. And you'd ask, Madam Chair, if it was in the interest of the people, why would we not encourage such things for motorcycles, for ships, for vehicles? Why choppers? It is because there's a private interest in this. There are those who have even a private hangar in Wilson, and they are the ones who want to benefit. This is unfriendly to the ordinary Kenyans. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
All right. Member for Kimilili.
Madam Chair, I want to oppose these amendments by Honorable Basil because we want to bring back the aircraft maintenance at Wilson Airport so that the young people of this country can continue to benefit. Supporting these amendments would be tantamount to say that we want the Kenyans who are jobless to continue being jobless. We want to bring back the business of servicing and the repairing of planes back at Wilson Airport. I vehemently oppose these amendments.
Honorable Owen Baya.
Honorable Speaker, you know, there's a lot of misinformation on this, and it is very important we correct. We want to create jobs, high-end jobs, good engineers at Wilson. Honorable Speaker, I want to tell you this, that I oppose this amendment because today, the country called Dubai today is a big beneficiary of aircraft maintenance. And very many Kenyans and many other people from other parts of the world go there to do these jobs, and they earn a lot of money. We are not being fair to this country to oppose this amendment. This amendment will ensure we make quality jobs, we bring more aircrafts from other countries to come and be repaired in this country, and it also gives us an opportunity to open up even an airport in your constituency to repair aircrafts. We have a whole industry that we need to explore, Honorable, and I oppose that amendment. You are my friend, but on this one, you are wrong.
Order.
And
Honorable Emase.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I oppose the amendment. Chair, we've promised Kenyans jobs. This is one of the ways to create opportunities. As it stands now, we're losing these opportunities to other countries, our neighboring countries. So we must we must oppose this amendment so that for us to be able to create opportunities for our young people. Thank you.
Honorable Atandi.
Madam Chair, wait, keep quiet. Madam Chair, I have a lot of respect for my chairman, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, and also Honorable Owen Baya, but I want to disagree with them that you did not promise to give white-collar jobs. You wanted hustlers to get jobs. Secondly, I'm aware that my brother, Honorable Soro and Honorable Kimani Chungwa, your choppers are coming, and you want to avoid paying tax. You must pay tax. You must pay VAT on your choppers that you have already ordered. So the intention of this amendment, Madam Chair, is for Kenya Kwanza billionaires to own choppers. And this is something which we must refuse. We must refuse these people from not paying taxes. Yeah.
Order.
So we must support, I support this amendment, and we must adopt it.
What is out of order, Majority Whip?
Honorable Chair, I am aware that Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, who has been mentioned by Honorable Atandi, of course got a chopper about 4 years ago. But for me, Honorable Chair, I am not, unless he's speaking of a different Osoro, I don't know whether there is a chopper, unless you paid it for me on my behalf or something. But
Order,
I pray.
order members. We will now hear member for Dagoretti South, then I will put the question.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And the point I want to make, Madam Chair, is that this is not a topic that we should be splitting hairs on. The intention by the Honorable Robert Basil might be well-intentioned. However, the details that he has are extremely wrong. The intent of this proposal, Madam Chair, is to support a dwindling aviation industry. Aviation is two things. It is the vessels and it is the humans. In Kenya, we are suffering because we do not manufacture vessels. However, we manufacture pilots, we manufacture engineers, we manufacture technicians. However, our technicians are no longer getting jobs, Madam Speaker, because the jobs are going to neighboring countries where the terms are favorable, the conditions are favorable, the taxes on this particular issue are favorable. That is the first thing, Madam Speaker. Secondly, training, Madam Speaker. They are simulators. So what happens, Madam Speaker? Kenya ends up to be a training ground, Madam Speaker, ends up being a training ground for these people. And so, Madam Speaker, I want to vehemently oppose this amendment by my very...
Order members, order members, order members, order members, order members. I will now put the question that clause 33 be amended as proposed by Honorable Basil. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. Member Honorable Atandi, prosecute your amendment. Order members, Honorable Atandi's amendment falls.
Let me...
If Honorable Atandi.
Madam Chair, I was alerting you that my amendment and the one from Honorable Basil was similar, and that's the reason I wanted you to allow me to make a contribution on his amendment, and you are not listening to me. Thank you.
Honorable Atandi, when we were doing the ground rules, we said if you want to wish to speak to drop the amendment, you are allowed, and this is also okay. So we will now go to member for Mathare. No, member for Mathare, your amendment falls if the committee is carried.
Allow me to speak, Madam Chair, at the point of order before.
What is out of order, Honorable Tom?
Madam Chair, you remember that I had indicated that for point of neatness, because we had several amendments, I had anticipated this, that you allow all other members. Remember, this is one of the clauses the Speaker had directed, that members be allowed to debate notwithstanding. And because there was a precedent yesterday, I had beseeched you, Madam Speaker, that you allow the rest of us to move our amendments before you can get to the Chair of Finance. I have tried to intervene before Basil so that I can speak fully aware that if his was shot down, then mine would also be shot down. But Madam Speaker, you are not seeing this. Madam Speaker, you should allow people to debate and to ventilate and to say the things they need to say. We are here to make law, not to run through as voting machines. So, Madam Chair, I would like to be allowed to prosecute my amendment, notwithstanding that of Basil. Allow me to prosecute.
I will allow some ventilation on this, but on what Honorable Tom Oluoch is talking about, the Speaker was clear that they will be listed here as amendments, but with clear way of how it goes. Like your amendment, Honorable Tom Oluoch, if the committee is taken and carried, yours automatically falls. You are not able to prosecute the amendment, but you can be able to ventilate on it. So I will give this chance to the majority leader. Majority leader, we will come to you. We will come this side.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to oppose that amendment. Honorable Speaker, you know, we lose a lot of truth when we view everything from the prism of our politics. Honorable Speaker, we also tend to distort a lot of information on what is actually in the bill. Honorable Speaker, for instance, on the VAT, purported VAT on choppers.
Majority leader, let us get some guidance.
Yes.
Because we have dispensed with Honorable Basil's amendment. Please speak to what Honorable Tom Oluoch has raised. What Honorable Tom Oluoch has raised is what is on the floor.
Isn't it on the same thing of choppers?
Honorable Tom Oluoch, I'll give you the microphone. Please, but do not take us back, but retake it.
Okay, will you allow me to ventilate the point of order or my amendment?
Actually, I've already given the direction on your question. Because if your amendment has fallen, you cannot prosecute it. You cannot prosecute the same amendment that by operation of passing of the committee has taken and has gone through.
So for going forward, Madam Chair,
Order.
this is not...
Order, members. Order, members. I would like to give honorable member for Dagoretti North. Hold on. Honorable Elachi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think for purposes of procedure, it is very important when we have finished voting, we move on to the next. It is not right in terms of procedure that we go back and we've already voted. It is wrong, Madam Speaker. Let's move on to the next. The thing has passed.
Order, members. Order, members. Honorable Bandi, please take your seat. Order, members. We have prosecuted all the amendments. By the fact that we have prosecuted the chair's amendment and it has gone through, others have fallen. We have prosecuted for Honorable Basil, it has fallen. And now we are going to take a vote on the global question on the amendment by the chair of the Finance Committee. Order, members. I want to give direction. Please do not reopen the already prosecuted matters. Majority Leader, do not